What is going on, guys? It is USA Breaking News here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, Night 2 of the draft, as well as wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the latest QR code WWE's Blunder, CM Punk Tony KH replies to Goldberg as anybody getting Cody Rhodes heel vibes, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, the bad and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, a colossal celebrity appearance. Celebrity appearances can be difficult to pull off, but last night the WWE scored a touchdown when it featured Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes hanging out with Logan Paul, and the Judgment Day doesn't get any bigger than this in Kansas City, and Mahomes' appearance made Raw seem like a major event. Number 2, decent draft picks. The last night's draft was a bit of a breath of fresh air after night 1 on Smackdown. Granted, night 1 of the draft was a complete dud, so anything would have been an improvement. Last night's draft featured some moves that hopefully will provide new directions for the LWO and the Final Testament, as well as damage control with the LWO and the Final Testament. Both groups have been bogged down in slow-moving feuds, so taking them away from Leg del Fantasma and the Pride is a step in the right direction. Throwing some bold picks for NXT in night 2 actually felt like something happened other than maintaining the status quo. Number 3, Dominik and Liv Morgan cow in 24p. But what is going on with Liv Morgan and Dadley? Dominik Mysterio. A backstage interview saw Liv Morgan walking in the background, but what happened moments later raised eyebrows as Dominik Mysterio emerged from the same area. What were the two talking about? Was Dominik dipping the pen in the Company Inc? Daddy Dom seems to be down low, Dom, as he's channeling his inner Latino heat and chasing after Liv. However, something is happened as Liv using Dom to get back at Rhea. Regardless of the motives, Dominik had better have his affairs in order, no pun intended. When Ripley returns, 4 CM Punk demolishes Drew on the microphone. A PO Drew McIntyre. He may regret signing a new deal with the WWE after being eviscerated by CM Punk last night. Not only did Punk play McIntyre by evading Raw, but he also demolished Drew on the microphone and promised to make Drew's life a living hell when he returns. Fans are already talking about how this is already one of Punk's best promos. The thing that we hope to hear next time is for Drew to respond. McIntyre can talk and he shouldn't stand idly by while Punk insults him. Number 5, good main event. Last night's main event wasn't a classic, but it was a good build-up for Jey Uso's title match against Damon Priest, a chance to remind fans of the tension in the Judgment Day and give Ricochet and Andrade time in the main event. The match succeeded in all areas, and most of all, it was an entertaining way to end an above-average show. Number 6, Naomi and Tiffany brawl. The WWE Universe was treated to a thrilling display of BS last night, including Naomi's surprise attack on Tiffany Stratton. The ringside Donnie Burke was a pulse-pounding way to build their match at Backlash France and provide Liv Morgan with a distraction to secure the win over Nia Jax. Number 7, Braun is back. Braun is back and he's cleaning house. While the future is always uncertain for Strowman, as his career has been on a cruise control both before his 2021 release and his return, the WWE always knows how to book his return. Last night was no different, as a monster among monsters ran in for the save on Jey Uso, running over wrestlers like a trail. Strowman looks good and he appears to have added some muscle mass, a better look compared to when fans last saw him. While Strowman looked fit, he was too lean for someone who is supposed to be a monster, and Logan Paul always delivers. A Logan Paul is an obnoxious guy you'd likely like to punch in the face, making him one of WWE's most effective heels. Paul's fondness for bragging about himself and taunting his opponents, coupled with his incredible in-ring skills, makes him an asset to the WWE, both for the mainstream publicity and driving storylines. Last night angle where Paul to Jey Uso and enlisted Patrick Mahomes help worked well and helped set up last night's main event, but that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, a weak build to Backlash. Now the build to Backlash has been a little bit weak on the red brand. If you look at the match card, only one of those matches is a Raw match while 4 of them were Smackdown matches, so it could mean that the brand might be poorly represented. There is still time to add some matches, but at this point it may not seem likely. There was nothing downright ugly, as RO didn't have any major matches, but everyone was important and entertaining. The show also featured the usual hilarity when our Truth shows up. When Truth telling his awesome Truth partner as he couldn't believe that they could be drafted into the NFL and that Patrick Mahomes, the insurance guy, was at Raw. What did you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first story looks at the WWE Draft Night 2 results. Atop of today's news of the results from Night 2 of the draft, while many wrestlers were drafted to keep them on their current homes, there were still some noticeable moves on Night 2, including several call-ups from NXT on Raw: the Final Testament, the Latino World Order, Braun Strowman, Damage Control, Ilya Dragunov, Lyra Valkyrie, and DJ. On SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura, Chelsea Green, Green and Piper Nen Candice LeRae in the Hotwell Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and Blair Davenport. What do you think of these moves and call-ups? It's good to see the WWE adding some NXT superstars, and the influx of female talent could be a good way to build up a secondary women's title on Raw or SmackDown. As for Ilya Dragunov, some fans believe he'll be joining Imperium. Next up, WWE's latest QR code. Do you guys see the latest QR code on Raw? If not, don't worry, we have you covered. Accessing the code led to a nearly 1-minute video featuring a footage of a spooky-looking house as well as some interesting messages including "the door is open, do you want to meet him?" and also "drown in his glory." While the WWE hasn't released any clues to give fans an idea where things are headed to, many fans believe that this is the build-up to Uncle Howdy's return. Just when Uncle Howdy will return is unknown. The WWE hasn't given any clues about when or where to expect the return. Triple H likes to take his time with storylines, so this could be months before Uncle Howdy returns. It's also unknown if Howdy will return on his own or bring some creepy colleagues. Next up, Cody Rhodes heel. Is Cody Rhodes giving off heel vibes? The current undisputed champion is at the top of his game portraying a baby face, but The Undertaker believes Cody could easily portray a heel. During a recent episode of his 6 Feet Under podcast, the Phenom commented, "I think it'd be a good he gives me heel vibes. I could see him easily being smug and then better than thou. Don't get carried away, that's all work, but I can see it, I feel it in his character." The Hall of Famer also discussed future opponents for Cody including Seth Rollins, Gunther, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. While Gunther seems locked in following the draft, the WWE could always concoct a storyline to explain how the ring general is challenging Cody on SmackDown. Cody has played a heel before and he's done a remarkable job. However, do you think the WWE should turn him heel in the near future? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Tony Khan replies to Goldberg's cheesy comment. And what does President Tony Khan think about Bill Goldberg's recent remark that he wouldn't work for because he feels the product is too cheesy? Tony appeared on the Superstar crossover show and commented that Bill Goldberg wanted to work here. "I met with Bill several times. Bill was looking to work here. Funny because I had a bunch of really nice meetings with Bill. I would have honestly been interested in doing something. I have a lot of respect for Bill. I was surprised by that because that certainly wasn't what he said to me when he was talking to me about working here at some point, which I've always been open to, and I really like Bill." No word as to whether Tony is now trying to bring in Dwayne Gill as a suitable replacement. Next up, Shawn Michaels warns SmackDown superstars. What is the warning that Shawn Michaels has for SmackDown superstars about an NXT talent drafted on Raw? Michaels tweeted this about Blair Davenport coming to the blue brand: "The surface has barely been scrunched as far as what Blair Davenport is capable of between the ropes. A warning to the SmackDown roster, be ready for a fight." The WWE affair. Blair's emotional reaction to a call-up, a move which Davenport fans have been hoping for ever since she began competing on the black and gold brand. They've improved its booking of female superstars, and if Deport gets an opportunity to compete and not play a background character, there's no telling how far she'll go. And finally, WWE's Blunder. Last but not least, did you know CM Punk is a Grand Slam champion? Or ROAA promotional blur where Punk was drafted a Raw in round 2 of the 2024 draft. Unfortunately, there was a blunder as Punk is a Triple Crown winner rather than a Grand Slam winner. The Triple Crown is awarded any superstar who captures a World Singles title or a Tag Team title and one of the 2 WWE secondary titles, that is the US or Intercontinental Championship. A Grand Slam winner needs to have held both of the WWE secondary titles, and while Punk held the IC Championship, he did not hold a US title, and mistakes can happen for sure, but fans are quick to pick on things like this, so you can be sure that they'll let the WWE know about it. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, as well as our review of Raw. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.